guys, this is Ginger and welcome back to the farm. Also, Goose is with me today. And I just wanted to give y'all a little update on everything we did this week. So we had a extremely busy week. So first we started off with going and taking Cammie and getting her ultrasounded to see where she was in her cycle. And they said that this weekend, Saturday, would be like the perfect day to go get her bred. And sorry, my dog's biting. So take her over to the vet, get her ultrasounded, do all that. Then we got a new horse in that we're fostering. So he came in during the pouring down rain, and so I had to get him settled and deal with him, put him in quarantine, deal with all the shenanigans of that. And then Saturday morning, we got up early, headed over to Barnwell, South Carolina to Sawbraw Farms. And that's where I took Cammie to go get bred to Jagger. He has a Marsh Tacky Stallion from the Star Pipeline. And luckily enough, he nor Cammie have any common ancestors on their papers, and which is really hard to do with how small our breed is. So we're really excited about pairing these two together. And so I dropped her off there, got her all settled in. Of course, had to meet all the other horses and say hello to everybody, including Cammie's little brother, who is stunning. Anyway, I'll drop some videos of him in this video. Then headed back home, got ready, because now that Cammie's gone, Honey has to go back to work. And Honey, I have not really done anything with her in almost 2 years. Georgia's 2 years old. And I rode her on a little small trail ride last week with my daughter. And then Sunday, I got her out, put the saddle on her, and we went and worked cattle. And that's all she's done in 2 years. And not only did she work cattle, but she did a timed obstacle course challenge, and her teammate was a breeding stallion. And she did amazing. The only thing that I had trouble with is something that I've always had trouble with, and that's her being calm and waiting for me. Like when we go through gates, she gets a little dancy, and she has a tough time being really calm going in and out of gates. And when she was side passing, she only wanted to side pass to the right. And so when we went across and side passed, instead of going back across to the left, she just swirled her little self around like a little Fiat and then side passed to the right, back across. She knew she had to go back across, but she wasn't going to go do it from the left-hand side, so she just turned us around and did it the other way. So I wasn't going to argue with her. I hadn't rode her in 2 years. It was a win. She did the side pass. And but other than that, she was really perfect. And then today, I took Jigsaw over to Cloud9 Ranch, where he had his very first lesson off the farm, and he actually did really good with that. I was really proud of how he behaved. I mean, obviously he was nervous. So only his second trailer ride ever in his entire life, and he was a little sweaty and nervous when he got off the trailer, but he did really good. And he wasn't bad. He didn't yell and scream any more than any other year-and-a-half-old baby would do. And he picked everything up that we were teaching him really quickly and did really good. And he got right back in the trailer and came home and unloaded well and went right to eating, and had to take him a good nap. He had to stretch out and take him a good nap. But other than that, he did great. So anyway, I'm going to drop some videos of what we did all this week. And I hope y'all enjoy, because it's been one heck of a week. So here we are over at Piedmont Animal Hospital in Madison, Georgia, where we took Cammie to get ultrasounded. And so unfortunately that day she was ready to be bred, but because of my work schedule and the breeder's work schedule, we weren't able to get her in. So they told us to wait till June 6th to try again, because that should be perfect timing. And so I did take her over there on June 6th, but she is still ignoring the stud. I will say the Old Farmer's Almanac said like more close towards the end of June. So I'll be really curious to see what is right, the ultrasound machine or the Farmer's Almanac. So I'll keep y'all updated, on that. But so that was fun. I always love going and learning new things about the reproductive system. And then we also got a new visitor onto the farm. This is Whiskey. He's a 7-year-old marsh tacky that we got out of an auction. And so he's spending some time here with us in quarantine, and then we'll start evaluating him. And hopefully he can be retrained and become a nice riding horse for somebody someday, and he will be up for adoption whenever the time is right. So keep an eye out for him. He's really nice. He's almost 15'2", which is quite tall for a marsh tacky, and he's a good looking boy. So we'll keep you updated on how he's doing. And then I totally forgot to tell y'all at the beginning of the video, but in the midst of everything, we actually got all the horses branded too. So good friend went and developed a brand for the marsh tacky horses, and it is an individual brand for the horses. It's a simple MT for marsh tacky, and then it has their registration number branded underneath it, so you'll always know exactly which horse that is. So this is only for registered marsh tackies, and we're very excited about this happening. Hopefully this is one more way to help protect and promote these horses at the same time, because who doesn't love asking about a brand? And this is my little stud colt getting his done. Mr. Dwayne Poole out of South Carolina is so amazing. He is very quick and he is effective, and he gets that job done. And every single one of them look really good. They're in the healing process now, which I will show some videos of the entire process once it's done.
Oh, baby, yeah.
Good job. Good job. And then, of course, on Saturday we had to get some diesel, because, you got to do that. And so they went all my life savings putting into the truck. Yeah, I really need to wash it. Anyway, here is Cammie meeting Jagger for the first time, and they are off to be bred. And hopefully this is going to be a really great pairing. So far, Cammie is only interested in eating all of his food, even though he's running around slinging that thing all in her direction, but she is not interested, at all. But hopefully here soon she will be. I also got to meet Cammie's little brother. This is Camshaft, and this is the mare that he is breeding to currently. And Camshaft is Cammie's full younger brother. They're off of Bo and out of Eve, and they are the first AI babies from the breed. And he is just absolutely stunning. He reminds me so much of his sister. He's a little bit more red than she is, but he has very similar personality and temperament. And this right here is LT. LT is a 1.5-year-old marsh tacky stud colt. He is available for purchase. He is off the Starbright line, And he is a half brother to my colt Jigsaw. And here we go. There's Honey. This is my first Marshtaki mare. We went and did a little obstacle course competition on Sunday when I got back from dropping Camia off, and it's the cowboys discussing, how we need to do this course before we get started, and how the little branding station and things like that need to be set up. They did such a great job on putting this obstacle course together. We even had to move cattle around. Here, Honey's just practicing standing still because ground tying is a part of that competition, and so she's making sure she could still do it. And then we had to head off out into the field to go wrangle up the cows out of the big pasture and bring them up to the arena. So the obstacle course where you had to move the cow was quite difficult. We were supposed to go around this part here and then go through that log set over there, but she wasn't really having anything to do with that. So since this was just practice, we just moved her on down the line and took her into back into the chute. So we're going to have to figure out how to work on that to get her to kind of move out a little bit further so she can go through the log set without running down to the end of the arena. It's a lot of work. And Honey's partner here, this is Blue Water, and Blue Water is a stallion. So that made our run a little bit more challenging. They did really well considering I was on a mare in heat and she was on a stallion. But we got it done, and we had such a great time. They did really well. We got the cow finally back in where she was supposed to go, and then you run down to the end of the arena, go over this little log here, and then you stop and back up. So I just made sure I kept my distance away from the stud and didn't get too close to him, and we had a really great time. And then on Monday, I took Jigsaw, my stud colt, over for his very first off-farm visit and training session over at Cloud9 Horses with Nancy and Jordan. Jordan was the one who was riding a stud colt, or the stallion, and so she has plenty of experience with working and handling stallions. And so we went over there and had a lesson with her, and Jigsaw did really, really well, and we had a great session. So that was my week. It was very, very busy, but we had a great time, and it was full of ponies. And so y'all follow, and share.